Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over the all-new Ford Bronco Raptor. And so with that being said, let's just get right into it. So let's go over the all-new Ford Bronco Raptor, and this thing was so cool to see in person. So first off, you guys can see, just like the F-150 Raptor, you've got the effects there in the center of the hood. That's what I'm going to call it. It's technically venting, but not necessarily functional, just like on my Raptor, but it looks cool. It got the Raptor logo there, and this one's finished in code orange, and you guys can see there for the trail markers, and then also with the LED lights. The accent lights are orange as part of the Raptor package, and then notice the LED lights there on the front grille. Got the camera there in the center of the gigantic Ford logo. And then notice here on the bumper with the rivets, and then you've got the rigid fog lights there, which one of them technically has to be covered on the truck Raptor. I'm not sure about this one in terms of the lighting. But you guys can see the skid plate looks so aggressive. And all I have to say is when I get my hands on one of these, it's going to be so hard to wrap one of those. So probably going to powder coat it. But anyways, you guys can see here with the live valve Fox shocks. Apparently this is the most advanced version of live valve that Fox has ever made. And so yeah, pretty exciting stuff. They're called the 3.1 shocks because they're 3.1 inches in diameter. And then you guys can see here with the tires, we've got 17-inch wheels and 37s mounted on those. That is the only tire you can get with the Bronco Raptors, 37s. 35s are not even an option. They're like, you know what, 37, and we're not going to do it. And then you guys can see the independent front suspension here. It's one of the hallmarks of the new Bronco. And then this is something that's been controversial, is the fender flares, and then also fender venting, less controversial, but they look a lot better in person than they do in pictures. And then notice the marker light there on the mirror. I thought that was pretty cool, how it's red in the back and then orange on the front to basically go along with the federal mandate. And then you guys can see these side steps here that also have the rock rails, which is also another cool feature. And then you guys notice that part, that's actually a part you can take off. The reason that you would take this off is because it would get damaged, and so you have to replace just that and not the whole fender flare. And then you guys can see the tire wheel set up there in the back. Those wheels are beadlock capable, if you're wondering. And then again, the live valve here in the back. And this is the thing I'm most excited about, again, is the shocks with this, because the shocks on the Bronco, the Bilstein position-sensitive shocks are great, but the live valve from Fox is definitely a step up, and so it's really exciting stuff. And you can see the exhaust tips are kind of hidden there to obviously help out with the departure angle. And then the LED tail lamps looked pretty interesting, again, in person. Got the Bronco horse, and then that's been reinforced to be able to hold the 37 on the back. And then notice, again, the 3 marker lights there just up above that. But you guys can see the spare tire is also a 37 with a beadlock-capable wheel. And, yeah, pretty crazy stuff to see a 37 mounted on a vehicle from the factory. And then you got your Raptor logo there on the back, as you guys can see. And then I just quickly want to show you guys the storage area there, so you can see that whole kind of like cargo area. And then notice this one doesn't have the top on or the doors on, so this is kind of like your ultimate like crawling setup, right? If you're going off-roading, even though it's not realistic because you'd get a bunch of dust on you, but still fun to think about doing it. The seats, this was my favorite part. Again, this is another thing that is just a huge improvement over the regular Bronco. These seats look fantastic from a design perspective with the blue and the orange, and again, the code orange matches the exterior, and just the feel of them too just felt amazing. And then you can see all the window controls there in the center with the charging port and the outlet just down below that. Still no vents for the rear passengers, not even the Bronco Raptor do you get vents for the rear passengers. And then you guys will notice here with the Bronco logo there, and again, notice all the orange accenting all throughout here to match the exterior paint color. And then the Raptor floor mats. And you can see the passenger seat here with all the bolstering. Again, they did an amazing job here with the seats to really bring it up and, again, make it feel like it's a Raptor. And then popping over here to the driver's side, you guys will notice you got the Ford Performance there, just like you get in the F-150 Raptor. And then the driver's seat's the same as what you have with the passenger seat. And again, just a huge improvement. I thought it was funny that the seatbelt's kind of like all tied up, so I thought I'd show that to you guys. But yeah, just from a design perspective and all that. And then you notice here with the light controls there on the side, all that normal stuff. And then notice the carbon fiber there next to the grab handle. And then the mirrors do have blind spot monitoring, which, you know, nice practical thing, right? And then my camera didn't want to focus on this. I remember this was super frustrating. But I was trying to show you guys the material there on the dash with the stitching through there. Looks pretty cool. And then the steering wheel feels just like the steering wheel in the F-150 Raptor. That was another huge improvement. And then the paddle shifters are out of the GT500 actually, or the Ford GT rather. both of them. And then you got all your practical car controls, right? Like your voice command controls, all that kind of stuff. And then 12-inch display, right? So you got the bigger infotainment system. And then your analog controls down below for the radio, dual zone climate, heated seats, heated steering wheel. It still doesn't have cooled seats. I don't think that's practical for a vehicle like this, because the fans would just get destroyed if you got water on them. And then notice with the driveline select, you still have all of the modes. So you've got the 2-wheel high, 4-wheel low, 4-wheel auto, and 4-wheel high, and then the off-road cruise control. And then notice the window controls there in the center, and then opening up the center console, you guys can see the space there. And it does have the Baja drive mode, if you guys are wondering, of course, because it's the Raptor version. And yeah, I just think all the little details here are pretty cool. And then, of course, got to show, it's got the stabilizer bar, disconnect front and rear lockers, and the trail turn assist, stability control, that kind of stuff you can turn off there. And then you can see the mirror at the top with all the auxiliary switches. And this is what makes the Bronco Raptor so crazy, is it's got the shocks and suspension to be able to handle crazy high-speed off-roading. And then again, it's got all the crawling stuff. So like this literally is pretty much the most crazy off-road rig ever created, because it's like combining a Raptor with a Jeep Wrangler, and that's what this new Bronco Raptor is. And again, I just want to mention, as I'm showing you guys kind of like this exterior walk around, it looks a lot better in person than it does in pictures. And seeing it next to, and I'll show you guys in a minute with another clip, seeing it next to a regular Bronco, it really shows you just how crazy and aggressive the Raptor version looks. And I think that the fenders make sense in person. When you see it in person, the giant, not the fenders, sorry, the fender flares rather, look really good in person. And then here's a regular Bronco. Now seeing the regular Bronco, you're like, it's kind of it's not a bad vehicle, right? But it's almost like, man, because the Raptor looks so cool. But I figured I'd show this to you because it's got the winch added to it after the fact, and it's also in the cool green color. You guys know I'm a huge fan of. Think about this green on the Raptor version. That'd be pretty cool. And then you guys can see the Bronco logo has been blacked out. I thought that was another cool touch. And then again with the steel bumper, which is another big plus. And then I thought the reason I want to show this to you is the wheels on this are very interesting with the design on those. And then you guys can see you got the normal Sasquatch tires. And then it's pretty cool how you've got the Everglades decal here with the snorkel, as you can see up there. And yeah, I think it was cool they put the map on the side of the Bronco with a little Sasquatch going through, because that's a place that there's, if you guys don't know, a lot of Sasquatch hunting in the Everglades, because they have a stinky monkey thing out there apparently. But anyways, you guys can see here with the rest of the Bronco, you've got the spare tire on the back that has that new wheel, which looks really good. And again, like, I'm not saying that the regular Bronco's bad, but again, seeing the Raptor Bronco right next to it, it's just like such a big improvement. And that's why I included these clips in, so you guys can kind of see back to back, like all the stuff has changed for the Raptor version of the Bronco. And it seems like they kept all the good stuff with the Bronco, right, for the Raptor version, and then they changed all the stuff that, you know, some people might have gripes about to make it even cooler. But yeah, there's the green one, and Ford was awesome enough to put this green one really close to the Bronco Raptor, so you guys can see kind of like back to back, right, with both of them next to each other, kind of, sort of, not really, but in a way. But you can see again the difference, and in the pictures just in videos just don't do the Raptor justice. It looks a lot better in person. And then lastly, we have another Bronco that I was going to do a full video on, but then I realized that it's, you know, just got some accessories on it, so I figured I'd just throw at the end of this video so you guys can quickly see this one. Again, with the winch, it's got a light bar at the top, and it's pretty cool with the coloration. It looks, they kind of like did this in the same colors as the Bronco DR with the V8. You guys know what I'm talking about if you watch the second channel. I think I made a video on it, where it's like the Baja Ready Bronco. So this kind of is like, basically looks like that, but then it's just a regular Bronco, which I thought was pretty cool that they kind of did this setup on it. And I don't know, I think the Bronco actually looks good with like all like this, like a crazy livery like this on it, kind of like a race livery. It kind of just makes sense with the overall shape and everything on it. But I want you guys to let me know which of these Broncos was your favorite, and if you have changed your mind on the Raptor Bronco, or if you still think it's not good looking, because I changed my mind.